Picture this. It's a Wednesday evening. You pull up your banking app just to double-check something, and your stomach drops. Your balance is nowhere near where you thought it was. You start scrolling. $15 for lunch, $22 for that food delivery, $9 for coffee, $30 on an online order you barely remember clicking, and you're sitting there thinking, how does this keep happening? You didn't splurge on anything outrageous, no designer bag, no weekend getaway, no big-ticket purchase, just everyday life, ordinary life, and still your money is gone. If that hits close to home, you're not alone. Research from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the average household spends upward of $3,600 every year just on eating out. That breaks down to roughly $10 a day, every single day, and most people have no idea it's happening. My name is Mr. Invest, and I've dedicated a serious chunk of my life to figuring out why we keep bleeding money, and more importantly, how to stop it. If you're someone who feels like your paycheck evaporates before the month is over, hit subscribe and drop a thumbs up if this ends up being useful. The real problem isn't discipline. Here's something most people get completely wrong. They think their money problem is a willpower problem. I just need to be more disciplined. But that's almost never the actual issue. The real problem is the way most of us have our money structured, because that structure is working against us. Once I understood that, everything shifted.
Why one account is setting you up to fail. Most people run everything through a single bank account. Paycheck lands, rent leaves, groceries leave, impulse buys leave. It all moves in and out of the same pot. And psychologically, that's a recipe for disaster. Your brain sees one number. Say you open your app and it reads $2,500. Your brain registers, I have $2,500. But what your brain conveniently ignores is this. Rent, $1,100, utilities, $180, groceries, $280, transportation, $140. That's already $1,700 spoken for, which means your real spending money is $800. But your brain saw $2,500 and treated it like a buffet. The psychology of overspending. Here's the part most people never hear about. Humans are genuinely bad at mentally separating money. Behavioral economists, including Nobel Prize-winner Richard Thaler, found that when all your cash sits in one pool, your brain treats the whole thing as available spending money. This creates what researchers call frictionless spending. Tap the card, click buy, done. No pause, no evaluation, no resistance. And when spending has zero friction, your brain stops questioning whether a purchase actually makes sense. The system that flipped everything. So I started testing something remarkably simple. I call it the two-account method, and it didn't work because I suddenly became more disciplined. It worked because I engineered the temptation out of the equation. Account 1, the obligations account. This account has exactly one job, covering your fixed, non-negotiable expenses. Rent or mortgage, electricity, internet, phone bill, insurance, recurring subscriptions, everything predictable and monthly. The moment your paycheck hits, the exact dollar amount for those bills flows into this account automatically. And the rule is simple. You don't spend from this account. No debit card attached, no casual purchases, bills only. Account 2, the freedom zone. This is your guilt-free zone. Groceries, restaurants, entertainment, clothes, coffee, anything flexible comes out of here. And because it has a defined ceiling, something clicks psychologically. You stop guessing. You stop doing mental math. You just know.
Let's look at real numbers. Say your take-home is $3,500 per month. Your fixed costs look like this. Rent is $1,300, utilities $180, insurance $160, phone and internet $110, subscriptions $60. Total $1,810. So $1,810 automatically moves to the obligations account on payday. That leaves $1,690. From there, $700 goes to the freedom account for day-to-day spending, $500 goes to savings, $490 goes to investing. Now, here's the shift. When you open your spending account, it shows $700, not $3,500, not $2,000, just $700. And that single number completely rewires how you make decisions throughout the month. Why design beats discipline every time? This is the fascinating part. The system doesn't rely on you being stronger or smarter. It relies on your environment being better designed. Think about it this way. If a jar of cookies is sitting on your kitchen counter, you'll snack on them constantly. Move them to a cabinet in another room, and you'll eat far fewer. Same cookies, same person, different setup. Money behaves the exact same way. Separating your accounts is just moving the cookie jar out of arm's reach. Can't I just do this mentally? Maybe you're thinking, couldn't I just keep track of this in my head? Technically, yes. Practically, almost no one does it consistently. Every single purchase demands mental math, and mental math drains your cognitive energy. Your brain starts cutting corners, and that's when the overspending creeps back in. The two-account method eliminates the math entirely. One number, that's your reality. No calculation required. The unexpected bonus. Here's what genuinely surprised me when I started doing this. It didn't just reduce what I spent, it dissolved a huge portion of my financial anxiety. Because the bills were already handled. When rent was due, there was no scramble. When my insurance payment hit, it didn't feel like an ambush. The money was already sitting there, earmarked and waiting. And that gave me something I hadn't felt with money in a long time: actual control. How to set this up in under 10 minutes? This is not complicated. Here's all you need to do. Open a second checking account at your bank. Most let you do it in minutes online. Label one account obligations and the other freedom. Add up your fixed monthly expenses. Set up an automatic transfer on payday. Fixed costs go to obligations, the rest to freedom. That's it. No budgeting apps, no color-coded spreadsheets, no logging every coffee. Final thought. Most financial advice leans hard on willpower. Track more, spend less, try harder. But willpower is inconsistent and it runs out. A well-designed system doesn't. The two-account method works because it's built around how human brains actually function, not how we wish they did. When your money system works with your psychology instead of fighting it, managing finances stops feeling like a battle. If you're tired of watching your paycheck disappear and never being sure where it went, try this. 10 minutes of setup could genuinely change how you relate to money. And remember, the most powerful financial systems aren't the most complicated ones. They're the ones simple enough to actually stick. If this gave you a new way to think about spending, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And if you want more content on investing, saving, and making smarter moves with what you already have, subscribe. Because here at Mr. Invest, we're not just chasing bigger paychecks, we're learning to make smarter moves with what we already have.